Here's what nobody tells you about IELTS. The difference between a 6.5 and a 7 isn't your English level. It's knowing what examiners are actually scoring. I've seen students with worse grammar score higher than fluent speakers. Why? Because they understood the game. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what that game is. The scoring criteria secrets that turn average test takers into Band 7 achievers. Let's start with how the 9-band system actually works. Most people think it's like a percentage. Get 70% right, score Band 7. Wrong. Each band represents a specific level of ability. Here's what they don't tell you. Jumping from Band 5 to 6 is relatively easy, but 6.5 to 7, that's where most people get stuck. Why? Because Band 7 is the threshold where you go from good user to competent user. It requires a qualitative leap, not just more practice. Now here's the real secret. Every section is scored on 4 criteria. For speaking, fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. For writing, task response, coherence, vocabulary, and grammar. But here's what changes everything. They're weighted equally. That means if your grammar is amazing, but your task response is weak, you're losing 25% right there. Most students obsess over grammar while ignoring the criteria that's easiest to improve. Task response. Address all parts of the question, and you've already won a quarter of the battle. Speaking section. This is where most students panic. Here's the truth. Fluency does not mean speed. Examiners aren't impressed by how fast you talk. In fact, speaking too fast is a red flag. It often means you're not thinking. What they actually score is smooth, natural speech with appropriate pauses. Here's the technique. Pause to think, but pause at natural places. Before a new idea, after a question, never mid-sentence. Practice saying, "That's an interesting question, let me think." This is perfectly acceptable and shows confidence. Now, for part 1 and 3, use the answer reason example formula. Question: do you like reading? Bad answer: yes, I do. Good answer: yes, I really enjoy reading, especially fiction. I find it helps me relax after work. For example, I just finished a mystery novel last week that I couldn't put down. See the difference? You've demonstrated vocabulary, given reasoning, and shown real-world application. Part 2. The long turn. You get 1 minute to prepare. Here's what works. Spend 20 seconds brainstorming bullet points, 40 seconds organizing them into a story. Don't write sentences, just keywords that trigger your memory. And here's the secret. Examiners know you're nervous. What they're looking for is whether you can organize thoughts under pressure. Structure beats perfection. Part 3 gets abstract. How do you think technology will change education? Don't panic. Use this frame. I think, because, for instance. It buys you time while sounding analytical. And if you don't know, say, "I haven't thought about this before, but my initial reaction is, honesty with structure beats confident nonsense." Writing section. This is where most people leave points on the table. Remember, task response is 25% of your score. That means if the question asks for advantages and disadvantages, and you only write about advantages, you've already lost a quarter of your marks before they even look at your grammar. Here's the P.E.E. structure that works. Point, evidence, explanation. Point, state your argument in 1 sentence. Evidence, give a specific example or fact. Explanation, explain why this matters or connect it back to your main argument. Every body paragraph follows this pattern. Task 1. Whether it's a graph, chart, or diagram, here's the mistake everyone makes: describing individual numbers. In 2010, there were 50 million. In 2011, there were 52 million. In 2012, there were 55 million. That's not analysis. That's reading the graph out loud. What examiners want. There was a steady upward trend from 2010 to 2015, with figures nearly doubling over the 5-year period. Describe trends, not individual numbers. Compare and contrast. Show you can analyze. Task 2 essays. Take a clear position. I somewhat agree with this statement, is weak. I strongly believe that that's what examiners want. They're not grading your opinion, they're grading how well you defend it. Pick a side and commit. You can acknowledge counter-arguments, but your position should be crystal clear from paragraph 1. Listening section. Here's your first hack. Use the dead time. When the audio is explaining instructions you already know, read ahead. Look at the next questions. Predict what type of answer you need. Is it a name, a number, a place? This mental preparation is worth points. Second hack, signpost words. The audio is full of clues. However means a contrast is coming. Actually means a correction. The main point is, that's literally telling you the answer is next. Train your ear for these signals. Third, spelling counts, and they know this. Common traps include words like necessary, 2 S's, 1 C, accommodation, 2 C's, 2 M's, environment, that N before M. If you're unsure, write clearly. A spelling mistake that costs you a point is painful when your listening was perfect. And here's the mindset shift. You will miss some answers. That's built into the test. If you miss one, let it go. The worst thing you can do is lose the next 3 answers because you're still thinking about the one you missed. Reading section, 60 minutes, 40 questions, 3 passages. Here's the technique that changed everything for me. Don't read the passage first. I know this sounds wrong, but hear me out. Start with the questions. Understand what you're looking for. Then go to the passage with a mission. There are 2 skills, skimming for main ideas, that's fast, paragraph-level reading, and scanning for specific details, that's hunting for a particular word or fact. The questions tell you which skill to use. True, false, not given. The trap is not given. If you can't find evidence in the passage, it's not given, not false. False means the passage directly contradicts the statement. Not given means the passage doesn't address it. This distinction costs people points on every test. Time allocation, 20 minutes per passage, strict. Passage 3 is hardest, so don't run out of time. If a question is taking more than 2 minutes, guess and move on. An educated guess is better than running out of time on easier questions at the end. Let me give you the 5 biggest takeaways. 1 task response is 25%. Answer all parts of the question. 2. In speaking, fluency means natural pauses, not speed. 3. In writing, describe trends, not individual numbers. 4. In listening, use signpost words and predict answer types. 5. In reading, questions first, passage second. Here's the truth. IELTS isn't testing how good your English is. It's testing how well you can demonstrate your English under specific conditions. Now you know what those conditions actually measure. You've got this. If this helped, I'd love to hear what band score you're aiming for in the comments. And if you want more strategies like this, hit subscribe. There's a whole English playlist waiting for you. Good luck on your test.